If you really want validation, if you really want to test your product, you're going to have to talk to people. At the end of the day, they're the ones using your product, they're the ones, purchasing whatever it is that you're selling. So at some point, you're going to have to interact with them.
Now that you've set your scenarios, you'll need to find some users for your testing sessions.
So, it happens quite a lot in that you create this mystical user persona and then only to find that they don't exist. If you have a website that's meant for new moms who've just had a baby, you don't want to be grabbing like a 50-year-old grandpa off the streets because it's probably not going to be very relevant to him.
To find these people, consult your user personas to sort out what users you'll want to be testing with.
Now, we're just going to note down details of our participants in the next chunk of the Google Doc.
If it's a user persona that's easy for you to find around, you could possibly even grab people in coffee shops. I've done loads of times where I just get a bunch of Starbucks gift cards and go to Starbucks and sit with a sign that says like, for 10 minutes of your time to do an interview, you're going to get like a $10 gift card. So that's if it's really general. If it's something really specific, for instance, with new mothers, then maybe you want to go look for Facebook groups or like meetup groups that have new moms with them. You could ask around with your friends. A physical baby clothes store. You could maybe even stock out the pediatric section in a hospital, as long as you're not being creepy about it. Just try and think of how these people's lives are, like where they might hang out, what they might be doing, and then just see if there's a way that you can get in touch with these people. So you should ideally try and line up 6 to 7 because there are going to be people that might pull out, drop out, disappear, or give you really shaky results. What you want is to have 5 good sets of data and good sets of feedback so that you can actually do something with that. You don't want any less than that because that's not big enough of a sample size. You can have more than that, but you don't want to get 60 people because that's going to take so much time and a lot of sorting through the results. What I would do is just to summarize what it is that I'm looking for. So I would say something along the lines of, I'm doing a 20-minute user test or a 45-minute user test with new mothers to test out this product that we've been building. For your time, you're going to get a $10 Starbucks gift card. Is this something you'd be interested in doing? So you just set the context for them, tell them what you're looking for and how it's relevant to them, and then give them a sort of incentive so that they'll say yes. Typically what you want to do once you've found some participants is to really lock that in. So send them a calendar invite. If it's in real life, make sure that you've agreed upon a place that's convenient for them. And you want to also make sure that you have all your task scenarios set up, you have your prototype set up or your website or your app set up. I would say anywhere that has fewer distractions. It doesn't have to be, somewhere that's completely distraction-free or somewhere that's really, really quiet. All you need is somewhere that feels a little bit private, that won't distract your user too much. So I've done user testing sessions before in a Starbucks, literally just outside of a Starbucks, and that worked well enough. You could do it in a park, you could do it wherever. I think you have to be as flexible as possible without sort of ruining the test or the results because it can be hard to find people. So you just kind of want to be flexible enough that you can adjust to what they need instead of making it really rigid and then finding that you can't find anyone to test with.
Now, we might offer to go to the house of one of our participants because they're stuck at home all the time. Or we might offer to have them come to the studio because they want to get out of the house. Either way, we're doing the test at the place that is most comfortable for the participant.
This should typically take about a week. In general, you want to try and keep it contained to a set short period of time. You don't want to have too much space in between the different sessions.
Each testing session should take between half an hour and an hour on average. Much less and you don't get good information, much more and people get frustrated and bored. Make sure that you leave some time before and after the test to set up and take notes.
If you have set out user persona and you can't quite find the user that you're looking for, but you found a bunch of people that are similar enough, then through testing it, you might find that these are actually the people that you're looking for, which then is really great because just by doing some user testing, you've realized that you've been targeting the wrong target audience all along. Because if these are the people that are going to be using your app or purchasing your products and you can't find them to test them, how are you going to find them to sell to them?
If you've done this right, you've got your 5 or so participants with their contact details and a place and time to do the test.
A lot of people get a bit stuck or they get a bit intimidated. This is your opportunity to get really creative and try and figure out how to reach these people. You know, there's a bit of thrill that comes with just approaching random people, and if you do it enough, you get really used to it and you find that people are not that scary. They can be really friendly, they can be nice, they can be funny, they can be really, really helpful. And after a while, that becomes the good part of it. So it might be scary at first, but once you get into it, you realize it's really not that bad and you'll probably enjoy it.